So recently I've been watching the Steve Wilkos show and I just found an episode that was just very, very, very disturbing to me. And it just makes me wonder how if predators have like the mind of a fucking brick. Because predators are honestly the most retarded people I've ever seen in my life. Basically, in this episode, this man had sex with a 14-year-old girl, and he came up with this Dragon Ball Z bullshit ass story trying to say that a 14-year-old paid him to be his standing boyfriend, which doesn't even make any sense. Agent 47 over here just doesn't believe it. So I'm gonna go here, I'm gonna play the episode, and I'm gonna give my thoughts on it.
Jay says he served 10 years for a crime he did not commit. And he still feels like a prisoner to this day because he's a registered sex offender for life. He was convicted of involuntary deviant sexual intercourse, and the victim was an underage girl. But according to Jay, the victim paid him $800 to be her stand-in boyfriend. And now he says he's paying the price for the rest of his life. Take a look.
He told me he was a sex offender the first night before he even came into my home.
Right off the bat, we can see the guy's face, and Jesus fucking Christ. I didn't like if you told me this was a predator, I probably would believe it more if you said it was a meth head. Because, Jesus fucking Christ, this guy looks like a fucking randomized Bolivian character. And just to prove what I said, I actually went into Elder Scrolls Oblivion and tried to make this guy as a character. Oh my god, okay, this kinda looks like him.
He told me the whole backstory of what had happened, that he was put in prison for a decade for false accusing of rape on a 14-year-old. The girl framed him and lied and made up this huge story, and he got a decade.
And I was at Dollar General doing shopping like I always do, and I noticed this girl staring at me. So I quickly did my shopping, I got done, I went and I left. She followed me and sat there, came up, started hitting on me, flirting with me, and said, I'm 18. I don't need no one else's permission to sit there and talk to somebody. Well, so I'm like, well, why'd you come up to me?
I can already say this story is low-key bullshit. I mean, you can literally tell just by the way he's moving around and shit. Not only that, but even though I've seen this video a million fucking times, because I just can't get over the fact of how ugly this dude is. And secondly, this is the most bizarre story I've ever heard on a Steve Wilkos episode. And not only the story is bizarre as hell, dude, you knew she was fucking 14. Stop trying to play like she's 18. Stop playing like you didn't know that she was 14.
Well, my family doesn't like my boyfriend. And I want to pay you $800 to be my stand-in boyfriend.
So, a 14-year-old came up to you with $800 to be your standing boyfriend. No 14-year-old has $800 fucking dollars. Unless you're a child actor, or if you're fucking richy fucking rich, then there's no way in hell a fucking 14-year-old, fucking paid you $800, man. I'm actually gonna skip some of the story because it's just complete bullshit. I'm gonna skip to the part where it's more bullshit than this. Instead of hearing a Stephen King novel, you're basically hearing a Dr. Seuss story.
Saying that I'm being accused of rape.
It's the police calling you?
Yes.
And what happens?
They show up at my door, they barge in, I'm asleep. I wake up, I'm confused, I'm scared, like, what's going on? They handcuff, shackle me, drag me out of my house, take me to the headquarters, throw me into an interrogation room.
So they arrested you?
Yes.
Okay.
They throw me into an interrogation room.
Right.
And all of a sudden, I was guilty. By them, I was guilty.
So they were questioning you?
Yes.
Okay.
And they stuck her affidavit in front of me and
what did the
coerced me
affidavit say?
that I did this.
Okay. And what were you saying?
I didn't do this. I was innocent.
And then you were about to say the cops did what?
They coerced me into giving a confession because they sat there, told me that this wasn't good enough. They balled it up, threw it in the trash.
And what was your
Not
confession?
once, not twice.
What was your confession?
But 4 times, Steve.
Bro, why? Why is this guy explaining the story like he stood in front of a mirror and pretty much improv? This shit's not even improv. He knew what the hell he was getting himself into on the Steve Wilkos show. This man literally probably stood in front of a mirror, probably practiced this fucking story, probably told the same story to everyone else, to the people who are stupid enough to believe him. This man did it not once, not twice, not 3 times.
It's over 9,000!
How many times you probably told this story and nobody's ever believed you?
What was your confession?
That I did it.
You said, yeah, I did it.
Yeah,
You
'cause
wrote
they
down on a piece of
threatened
paper.
me. They threatened me.
What
to
did they
throw
threaten
me.
you with?
They threatened to throw me in a jail cell and tell everybody that I raped a girl and had me killed.
So they did that regardless, even if you signed the confession, right?
Exactly.
So if they were going to do that regardless, why wouldn't you stick to your story and say, I didn't do it?
Because I was scared.
When you go in front of a judge, he goes to you, did you do this? You're accepting 5 to 10, you're pleading guilty. Did you do it?
Yes.
And you said, yes, Judge, I did it. Why wouldn't at that time you say, hey, Judge, I'm being railroaded here. This public defender's not serving my best interest. The cops
Because
coerced
I was
me.
afraid, Steve.
Of the judge, too?
No, of what the public defender would have done.
Yeah,
to
but
me.
at this point, don't you want to be a free man?
Yes.
Don't you say, Judge, they're screwing me, man.
But in the same sense,
I mean, here's the thing. If they come and lock me up right now, they walk into here and they go, we're locking you up, Steve Wilkos, because you robbed a bank. Well, I know I didn't rob a bank. There's got to be no evidence of me robbing a bank. And if they said, we're going to do this, we're going to do that, I'm like, no, man, I didn't rob a bank. You ain't got no evidence. I'm pleading innocent.
But still, to this day, I still get harassed because I'm not free.
Because you pled guilty.
Like I said before, this motherfucker has no common sense. If you wanted to be innocent so bad, I mean, even though you weren't going to be anyways, why the hell would you plead guilty? Fucking white Mace Windu over here has more common sense than you. But Wilkos is right. If you plead guilty to a crime like this, everybody's gonna be on your ass.
Anything you want to say to each other?
No, I didn't do it, baby.
I believe you.
I'm sticking strong. Your kids love me.
Yes, they do.
I've got more sins than a Chinese phone book!
His girlfriend or his wife believes him. Why would you believe a sex offender? Like, listen, unless he didn't know the girl was 14 in the first place, because, I mean, some people do look older than what they look like. Unless it was in that case, I mean, he's still a sex offender, but it would make more sense. But at the same time, this man came up with a whole Harry Potter book with Dr. Seuss knowledge.
I don't care if you don't believe me.
I don't. I mean, I can't even fake it. I don't believe you. Maybe, and I'll be embarrassed if you pass the test, okay? Because I think I'm a pretty good judge of knowing how a story goes. This one, I can't even pretend to believe the story. So my question to you is, and I don't think I'm the smartest guy in the world, but like, I know when I hear it, why are you believing this story?
Because he told me straight out, I didn't have to find out from another source or.
Yeah, but no matter what, eventually you would have found out.
Yes, I would have.
And better, he comes up front and tells you, hey,
Yes.
I just, because there's a big 10-year period of my life I can't explain for, right?
Right.
Okay. Did you have sexual intercourse with that 14-year-old girl? He answered no. And the result for his lie detector test is that Jay
How much you want to bet this guy's not telling the truth?
did not tell the truth.
No, listen. I did not do this.
I'll tell you something. I don't know if this is going to work out or not. I don't know, and it's your decision. But I would reconfigure that story if I were you. I would come up with a much different story. Something that, somebody that could possibly believe in. Because the story that you're telling and trying to sell, that story sucks. And you suck for sleeping with the 14-year-old.
Wow. Uncle Steve Wilkos finally said it, that this story sucks. And it kind of does. I kind of agree with him. Because, like I said, he had the paragraphs of a Harry Potter book, but the knowledge of Dr. Seuss.
And you want to still stand on the stage and try to convince this innocent person that didn't do anything, that is putting up with your as a registered sex offender. People are trying to hit her with their cars because of what you did. And you want to still stand on my stage and pretend you didn't do anything. Here's your chance. Here is your chance. How much do you love her? Do you love her enough to tell her the truth? Do you?
Yes.
Well, then tell her the truth.
You actually know what's funny? Now, I'm not defending the sexual predator over here, but why hasn't nobody mentioned that Steve Wilkos has a DUI? Like, I know that doesn't really win an argument, but like, if I was on there and if I was getting shit and everything, I would probably mention the fact that this man had a DUI. Other than that, I'm team Steve Wilkos with this conversation. So there's not that much more of this episode. He basically just explains himself, which he obviously didn't tell the truth.
I was afraid.
What? That I wouldn't let you in? That I wouldn't let you near anyone? Or what? Tell me.
I was afraid you weren't gonna accept me for who I was.
Don't you think I would have accepted you better if you told me the truth?
Yes. I should have. And
Yeah, you should have.
I second guessed it, and I messed up. I made
Sorry, the bull crap I went through.
I made a huge mistake.
So, Sarah, I want you to ask him a question right now. I want it to come from you. Did you sleep with that 14-year-old?
Did you sleep with her?
Yes. I made a big mistake.
Why didn't you tell me?
I was afraid.
What, that I wouldn't sleep with you? That I wouldn't let you near my daughter?
I made a mistake.
Is that why you wanted to get close to me? Is because of my daughter?
No. That's not true.
Well, I can't believe crap that comes out of your mouth.
I'll say this. 10 years is a big price to pay to have sex with a 14-year-old. It ain't worth it. 10 years of your life to have sexual intercourse with a 14-year-old. That's a big price to pay.
So guys, that's the end of this episode pretty much. There's really not that much else to it. It pretty much just rolls the credits. His girlfriend doesn't really get back with him, obviously, because why the hell would you go out with a sex offender? And I'm sorry, but like, I wouldn't put a sex offender 10 years in jail for having sex with a 14-year-old. That's not how you handle with a sex offender for 10 years. This is how you... Anyways, guys, I want to do something different for the channel, and I decided to do a commentary video. This video was like inspired, I almost said sponsored, Jesus. Was inspired by, the likes of Moist Critical and all those other people. Pretty much anybody who does commentary, but inspiration definitely did take from Moist Critical. Streaming will be back soon. I don't know when. I decided to make this video for you guys for entertainment. This whole video was meant for entertainment. It's not to shame anybody except for the sexual predator. So this is for entertainment purposes only. If you want to watch the original episode, I'll leave a link in the description. And that's all I gotta say. See ya.